How do you decide how many minifigs make it into a set?
It depends, you know, like when we build a set, we want to make sure that we get a really cool model in there, building experience, but obviously then there's a price associated with the model. So
okay, so does that come first? The price come first, or do you design something and then go, this is going to be, or do you say we need something that's going to be $69.99 and then you do it?
No, the concept comes first. We build a model and we think what's really cool, and then when we show kids, we think, okay, what is this model this big or is it this big?
Right.
And what does it need to be? Because, and then also, you know, if it's this big, that's easy to play with, rather than having a massive model. So we're always thinking about things like that, and then that defines, okay, what's the rough price, and then you start to work. You know, that's a big side of design, as well as working with your constraints. Right. About, okay, we need to be able to sell it for this much, so we need to be able to build it, and so there's lots of decisions that go into making a set.
Why does Nia have a basic female head versus her own custom head?
I think we want to do more with Nia. I think Nia is one of the strongest characters, and maybe in the past she's had maybe some more, just the basic head, and I think you'll see more coming from that in the future.
Young Garmadon and Wu minifigures.
That would be a great.
That's a good idea.
I have got a massive list in my head of minifigures where I mean, I want to do Pajama Zane in pink pajamas. I mean, I had that asked so many times. It will happen. You know, when we make these pieces, if you think about, like, every brick, and even on a minifigure, every piece is molded.
Yeah.
So think about all the bricks that are made in the world, and they're molded in different colors. So to change everything to pink, we have to change every piece, mold it in every piece, and so, you know, we have to work with those constraints as well and think about what it is we want to make. So
I'd be the first one to buy that.
Yes,
I would love a Zane.
I know you're not alone. That would be, if we did that would take over as my favorite minifigure.
Who is your favorite ninja?
I always say Zane, and that's not just because you're here, because I've said that many times in interviews. He's had some really great storylines.
Very good.
He's great. And then I would, of course, Nia as well is just extra special because she is probably the best ninja out of all of them in terms of her abilities. How
do you design the hair pieces? Do you try and make them as accurate as possible to real hair?
When we first made the wigs for Ninjago, a lot of the wigs were actually existing because they were already existing Lego wigs.
Right.
And then we utilized them in the show.
So you just go.
So yeah, and that's like the beauty of Lego. You can kind of create lots of different characters. The one we didn't have was Kai, and if you notice in the show, it's very spiky.
Yes.
And that's because Wilfilm kind of custom made that for the show. And then we had to try and make that in Lego, and if you see, I think it was 2014 with the rebooted sets.
Yeah.
That's when we first launched that.
And the movie hair is even higher.
Yeah, and the movie hair, because the movie is its own thing, we wanted to take some of those ingredients and sort of make it more bigger and extremer, and working with the director and everyone on that side, he just sort of pushed it to the maximum.
Best face print you have made?
Best face print? The Zane's face is pretty cool with the half broken off.
Will the Serpentine ever make it back to sets?
I hope so, because the Serpentine is such a big part of Ninjago, and was it last year? Yeah, last year when we did the Day of the Departed, we wanted to bring back a lot of the classic bad guys from the previous years.
Yeah.
So you could see Pythor coming back and the Ninjroids. And
so it's possible.
I think so. I mean, the snakes and the Serpentine are all, that's a big part of Ninjago.
Why aren't there any Ninjago mystery packs for the show? We know there's some for the movie, but...
Oh, okay, the blind bags.
All these minifigures you're talking about doing, and some other ones I'm going to ask you about.
Yep.
Couldn't you do the blind bag?
I would love to do. I mean, that would be a great chance to do.
Yeah. So what's the holdup?
Well, you know, like any company, there's only so many products we can make in one time.
Right.
So there we did the movie one because linking it to the movie, and I think it made sense. I completely agree.
A division where there's a minifig specialist and then there's a builder specialist, or is it complete crossover?
So we have people who build with the bricks, and then we have graphic designers, and because the minifigure is pretty set, you know, the torso, the legs, the head, and then they design the print that goes on them.
Right.
So they're specialists, and then we have element designers, and elements are new bricks. We call these elements.
Okay.
And we call wigs and shooters and
purses.
Yeah, everything is an element.
Yeah.
And if you're an element designer, you design in 3D these new pieces, and there you have to consider everything. Like you need to be able to mold these, so you need
Crazy.
You know, engineering knowledge. And
I like more the idea about just going like
just
this.
putting them
Like,
together, yeah.
that other
So-
one sounds a little bit complicated.
It's super fun designing the new elements though, because you really are making something that will last forever, because Lego lasts forever and it works together with everything. So you really feel like when you make a new brick, that's a big moment, because you'll really add into a little bit of Lego history.
You know, I have a similar, because no matter what, nobody's going to take those episodes of that I've done as Zane away from me, or anything I've
Yeah,
done
it's there
in
forever.
voiceover world. It's there forever. It's in
Yeah.
print. It's a print history of time.
And it's amazing to see as the show progresses and the audience gets older. You know, I follow so many people online who are clearly have grown up with the show,
Oh,
and
yeah.
now they are getting older, and it's
Yeah.
so awesome to see, you know, that how much it means to them and how passionate they are.
Very.
And you know, I really feel like we've made a little bit of their history in their childhood, which is awesome. I love that.
I refuse to look at them, but there was leaks online about season 8.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, when we were at Comic-Con, we showed a clip of season 8, so that's all fine. We showed that.
Okay.
Sadly, you know, the toys, sometimes we have to show a lot of people, retailers and things, and when leaks happen, it is sad, because, you know, it somehow spoils it. I said how I had to wait.
Suppose it, yeah.
And it's really great that fans want to find out things, but, you know, really to hold back a little bit, because it's so good, season 8. And
Yeah, you're proud of it?
I'm really, really proud, and we've really tried to elevate it as well. And we said this at Comic-Con, how Will Film, the level of animation is even better than before. The music is going to be even better. The Hagemans are back.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a real dream team to work with. And we have a new creative lead who, because I was working a lot on the movie on a day-to-day basis, so Cherim Manovi has taken over on a lot of the design, creative direction there for that.
Okay.
And so pleased with what he's done. It's Ninjago that you recognise, but it's new.
Mhm.
It's cool new character design. So, you know, keep a lookout for it.
Yeah,
But
I'm excited to see it.
Don't spoil it for yourself.
How long does it take to design a character versus a set?
Characters are a little quicker to design, because the minifigure is pre-made.
Yeah.
So doing the graphic design can be a little bit quicker.
Are we talking like a day or like a week?
You know, a fast graphic designer could design a minifigure easily in a day, because they work on computers,
Right.
because they use templates for the minifigure, and then they work on the design. Then it becomes about all the manufacturing constraints, where they have to know exactly how to print, how
Right.
many colors, when you print different things, if things move around. So there's a lot of things for them to consider as well.
Right, okay.
So,
So
but it's a lot quicker than building a set.
That would take a long time, you see.
Yeah, I mean, typically, when everything together to make this, we'll start. Overall, it's about a 16-month process.
Packaging included, you're including packaging on that?
From the first kind of like, what are we going to build? Let's put 2 bricks together
Yeah.
and create concepts. To it's in the store. It's about 16 months.
Why doesn't Cole's Earth Mini Dragon, why doesn't Cole have his ghost face?
So Cole, because Cole's not always a ghost. Sometimes we want to give minifigures that aren't in line with the current canon. So not everything is sort of in order. So maybe we'll do products in the future that look to the past.
Why did you do that?
Just because if you follow the show, maybe some people aren't seeing the latest season. Maybe they're
Right.
watching the previous seasons on other things like Netflix or whatever. So,
Okay.
and we know fans of the show also want other figures.
Right.
So, you know, sometimes, yeah, it doesn't quite make sense, but, you know, it makes sense in the overall grand scheme.
What is the prices for the sets?
Well, we work out the overall price. They're fairly standard at Lego in terms of the different price points we work with.
You're involved in that then?
Yeah, we choose. You know, if we build a model, we know roughly how much
the
how much
range.
the set
It's
is.
kind of obvious what the range would be.
Exactly,
right?
yeah. And what's been interesting recently is things like Ninjago City. We thought, could we ever do one that big? And it's amazing to see.
People are willing to pay for it
And
build it.
and then loving the build. And I think in Ninjago we're always trying to make sure that this piece count is pretty good as well.
Why can't you include hair pieces for the ninja in every set?
We can't include all the bricks in every set, so what we try to do is make it so that you can get most of the pieces. And sometimes having a hairpiece in the set would mean that maybe we could have less bricks. We totally get that. Of course, you want everything in the sets.
And some people do like stop motion animation, for instance. So they have a Kai and he's got his hood, and that comes with the set. But they just want to go, we want the hair in there. But
and then I think we try and make everything available in different areas, and sometimes it's just not possible to put everything in one box.
Are we ever going to see a Misako? Misako. Hold on, man. I screwed this up in the studio the other day.
We've done her once in
the
Temple of Air Jitsu.
Temple of Air Jitsu, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind that. Minifigs of all the Elemental Masters available to the public to buy.
Again, more minifigs. That's the great thing about
That'd be
Ninjago.
amazing, man.
We're never in short supply of minifigures to choose from. We've done some little special minifigure packs for some of our partners, like Toys R Us and other people, where we've done unique figures for them, and we try and throw in. It's a good chance for us to throw in some unique minifigures that we wouldn't maybe don't fit into a season set. The ones that are out right now, one of my favourites that have just come out are the White Nindroids. So Cyrus Borg had White Nindroids protecting the realm crystal in season 6, and we never did them in sets, so there was a chance to just throw them in.
Yeah, but I think that the Elemental Masters would have a huge. Am I right about that? I think you can correct me, Simon, because you're the expert. But I think they'll agree with me that the Elemental Masters in a wave would just be, you would sell out like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think we didn't do enough with them. In that 2015, they were there as part of the Anaconda season, and then we had the Ghost, and we had so many minifigures to do, and we can't do them all.
Right.
And we had the new Ghost, which I love those minifigs with the translucent legs. And
so basically, what I'm hearing from you is that you actually agree with everything they're saying.
Absolutely, yeah.
You just have only a certain amount of sets that you have to put out per year, per wave.
But the good news is that there is so much to choose from.
Right.
That it will come. We know, we hear all the comments, and we know what's popular. Right. And it's great to hear that people want these figures.
Yeah, no kidding. The pink Zane.
Yeah, exactly.
We want that.
Yeah.